Good morning, I'm Daiquiri Beebe with Abbey Realty, and today we're here with Jerry Anglin. He is the owner of OK Bail Bonds on Sam Houston Avenue here in Huntsville. He's going to share some of his information with us. So, Jerry, you are the longest operating bail bondsman in the state of Texas. How did you get into this line of work?
Well, I started a pawn shop, or rather me and a partner did, and 10 days after we went in the pawn business, we noticed that we kept borrowing money to families that were trying to make bond for their children. And my ex-partner's dad was a 14th District Judge of Texas. He was over Cisco, Ranger, Abilene, Throckmorton, Seymour as a district judge. And he graduated from North Texas. He had a degree in business, marketing, and finance. His name was Earl Connor III. And 10 days after we went in the pawn business, Earl says to me, "Jerry, I've got an idea. What do you think about us going in the bail bond business?" Well, it really kind of staggered me at first, but I said, here's my chance. I think my Lord had me here for this reason. My dad was killed when I was 21 years old by a 21-year-old DWI, and it devastated me. And so I said, now's my chance to try to make a difference. So I said, let's go with it. So we did. We started in the bail bond business in Walker County. But first, there was only two at the time. It was Jerry Willie Jones and Mr. Scott, wonderful old white man. And Jerry Willie Jones was black here in town. But my dad had always taught me ethics in business and everything that I did. Before I would go or consent to it, I told Topper, I said, I want to call Jerry Willie and old man Scott and see if they have any objections to us going in the bail bond business. So I called Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott was 82 years old. And he said, Mr. Anglin, if you'll get in, I'll get out. I said, God, that's wonderful. The Lord's already opened the door. So I prayed about it a little longer, and I said, well, I got to call Jerry Willie. So I called Jerry Willie, and I said, Jerry Willie, I said, I'm Jerry Anglin. My partner's Earl Connor. We own a pawn shop out here on South Sam Houston, and we're thinking of going into the bail bond business. Do you have any objections? He said, no, sir, I don't. But he said, you better call Mr. Scott and find out from him first. I said, we already have, and he give us his consent. He said, well, if Mr. Scott give you his consent, I give you my consent. So I had a free run to go into the bail bond business. That was on April Fool's Day, 1976. I wrote my first bond. And I love it very much, with all my heart. I had a chance to make a difference on people driving and drinking. 6 years and 9 months after that, my nephew, which I just about raised, and my preacher's son that married my wife and I, got killed by a 22-year-old in Arlington, Texas, and crippled a young man from the waist down. And that day was my last drink. I said at that time, I said, I'll never take another drink as long as I live. And I haven't. And I have taken many of inebriated people home after being in jail for DWIs and tried to make a difference in their life. And I've been successful on quite a few. Not all, but a lot. And I think if leading one to the Lord and leading one from stopping a terrible habit. And I've been in this business 45 years, and I'll say this. I have never met a man that had a drinking problem, a drug problem, or a gambling problem. I call it the big three. To ever quit those three that doesn't have Jesus here in his stomach. But here's the trick. He's got to have him in his shoes with him on a minute-to-minute basis. And if he has him there, he'll never take another drink as long as he lives. Or gamble, or take drugs. That is the trick to it. And I'm sincere as I can be about it. So that is the trick to stopping all this. So I have remained in the business all these years. loving every day of it. And I have had some wonderful, wonderful young men to work for me. I've been blessed there. So I'm 76 years old now. I've been doing this 45 years. And I've loved every day of it.
Well, we thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tom Waddell is behind the camera. And look for our next iHeart Huntsville interview.
Well, I hated to be sitting here teary-eyed, but I have to think back every day now. And I love what I've done. There's all that stuff that